do better this time around?
I didn't know what to expect last time. I know he's a good player and everything. I just need to be more ready to go, and I know I won't have as much butterflies and be as anxious as I was last time. I'll just be ready just to play basketball and try to help the team win.
What makes him difficult to defend?
He's always wanting to attack, and he's just so crafty, and he's real heady, real savvy guard. So he's a good player, and it's going to be a challenge.
And he's obviously not the only good player they have, which is what makes it difficult too.
Right.
Just for overall, then your defense, what do you need to do better?
Just be more detailed. Just continue to work on what the coaches are telling me to do, and I feel like if I follow my assignment, everything will work out. So.
The way they play with a lot of the ball screens and everything, makes you guys have to switch and kind of everybody be on too. Do you feel like you're better prepared, having seen that now quite a few times, throughout the season?
Yeah, I feel like we're better prepared, and I feel like we're going to do a pretty good job since we got a good feel for them last time. I felt like we were capable of winning last time, so we're going to try to go in there and try to steal one from them.
What have you heard about that place? Have your teammates talked to you about it? I think your Purdue is 1-11 there.
I know that we haven't been very successful there, but we're going to try to switch that around and try to get one out there place so I continue to win.
It would seem an obvious question, but why was it important to get that win against Minnesota and snap that losing streak?
It was just real important. We needed that one. We had our heads down for a while because those 4 losses, and everybody's was exhausted. Just didn't feel like doing anything. So it was real important that we got our spirits back up, and everybody's back motivated and ready to start trying to win again in the Big Ten. So.
AJ had mentioned after the Penn State game that some of the freshmen, maybe especially, were kind of hitting, I think he called it the wall of frustration. But this is the first time you guys have really been through this grind. I mean, what's it been like for you?
For me, it's been hard. I've been very frustrated with the way I've been playing. But I mean, I'm just trying to do the best I can. Try to work through it. Try to get extra shots up, work out extra hard, and just try to do whatever I can in the minutes that he gives me. So I just been trying to work through it and trying to ask questions and things like that.
Pretty much all rematches. I think this is 3 games in a row rematches. So what has to be better this time against Ohio State?
First of all, rebounding. We've done a good job. AJ's played much better since that first matchup with Ohio State. So I think those 2 things will be huge factors. Then we just got to make free throws. We shot 9 for 23. So if it happens to be a close game, we got to be able to make our free throws. We do those 3 things, we'll be fine.
I was just asking Bryson, you guys ranked last in the Big Ten in defensive rebounding percentage, but you're like 3rd or 4th in offensive rebounding percentage, and last night was, Wednesday night was another example of that. Why do you think you guys have been so good on the offensive end?
I can't necessarily say exactly. I know we do a lot of rebounding drills in practice, so it's more of a carryover than anything, but we don't necessarily emphasize, the offensive glass, more the defensive glass. It's just hitting the glass in general, so not really particularly sure about that one.
Speaking generally, what makes a good offensive rebounding team? Like, what do you think is the key to offensive rebounding?
Spacing. We play 4 on one end a lot of times with AJ inside, so crashing the glass is hard for defensive players to kind of find a matchup and box us out. And then it's really just about effort and heart at the end of the day. I mean, you can kind of figure out the angles from certain positions where it's going to go, but you got to go get it. So I think those 3 things kind of make up for making a good offensive rebounding team.
Coach Bader was talking about how missing free throws can hurt a team's psyche, when people get down, and it can be frustrating. I'm wondering on the other side, though, when you guys are getting offensive rebounds at the end of, the other team thinks they've made a defensive stop, and now you guys have the ball again, do you feel like that same swing can happen in your favor?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, for someone to play, defense that long, you actually get a stop, or, to think they're going to, get it out and go, and then you actually get an offensive rebound and make them play defense for 35. That's a killer, and that's one thing that we don't want to do and have happen to us. Once you play defense for that long, you want to, end the possession, as Coach says. So when teams don't end the possession, that's huge for us.
Just with offense, the style that Ohio State plays in terms of ball screens and all that stuff, I think you ended up on Kraft a couple times.
Right.
Actually, that makes it a little bit challenging? Not that that's the only team that does that, but how does that affect maybe how you can play defense when you're having to switch and rotate and all those?
A lot of times I end up rotating on the point guard anyway. It just happens that, Aaron Craft really wants to drive the basketball, so it kind of makes my job a little bit easier. I don't have to pressure him, out so far. Yeah. But he did a good job last time, getting in the paint, regardless of how we played him, and getting his teammates open and making them better pretty much. So we just got to do a better job of just kind of staying in front of him and trying to take away his angles. If we do that, we'll be fine.
That was a game you guys could have won.
Right. We definitely should have won that game. So we got to do a better job this time around, and hopefully we'll come out to win.
What do you think you've learned over the past 10 games that have happened since then that helped?
Well, A.J. Hammond is pretty much the key to this team, success. And, getting him the ball inside makes everything easier for everyone else. Rebounding is huge for this team. We continue to crash the glass. It kind of keeps us in games even if we make mistakes. Defensive end, we take some tough or difficult shots, shots early in the shot clock. And we can be a very good team if we just limit the turnovers and, take smarter shots, I guess you can say. And we should be in the tournament, in 9 games or however many it is, but we'll see what happens.
Second go around with Ohio State, what has to be better this time around?
I think our transition defense does. I think we got to create an inside presence pretty early, get the big guy in foul trouble. And then when he was out of the game, I thought we didn't take full advantage of the mismatch that AJ had down there, because I think they had Loving on him, and I just think AJ has to take full advantage of that and we're just the victory.
Some of the guys, Bryson, Sterling, they were seeing Kraft and I guess the rest of the team for the first time, but especially Kraft, and especially because they're going to have to interact with him. Do you feel like you guys are better prepared for him the second time around?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just stopping him in transition is very important. And then just being able to keep him out of the middle of the paint and, just stop him from getting others open. I think you just got to contain him on defense.
Why is this team so good at offensive rebounding?
I don't know. I mean, I think AJ, he helps out a lot. Him and Baz are pretty active on the ball. And the more we get our hands on the ball, off rebounds, either if it's just a hit, deflection of the ball, then, others pick up flight of the ball and helps us rebound.
Do you feel like it's the kind of the court sense that you have, or the, being able to see the court as a point guard, does that help you on the rebounding end too?
I think so, a little bit. I'm just trying to get us as many extra possessions as we can. So.
Then with the game against Minnesota, triple overtime win, you guys lost a double overtime against Northwestern. You win triple overtime against Minnesota. Having gone through that a couple times, what do you pick up from those games like that where it goes down the stretch and it goes past regulation for a bit?
I just think you just got to be able to keep fighting. I think that helps us a lot when learning about each other, who's going to fight with you, who's going to stay composed, who's going to get this last stop, who's going to get this rebound. It just helps us a lot mentally and physically.